Hey, what's good guys? This is Chris from WearTesters.com. Welcome to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel, the only sneaker channel here on YouTube where you come for the review and stay for the conversation. Today, we have a detailed look at these bad boys right here. And this, my friends, is the ANTA KT4 in the low top edition. Just so you guys know, I am still injured. I'm still rehabbing my calf. I did tear it. I don't remember how long ago, maybe like 3 weeks ago. Still not better yet, can't run, can walk fine though, no crutches needed. But that also means that performance reviews are just permanently postponed until I can get back on court. However, we are gonna talk about these, give you my initial thoughts and all that kind of good stuff. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. A lot of you guys might have seen these on the NBA hardwood already because Clay was the one that did not debut the shoe, believe it or not. It was actually Gordon Hayward. A lot of people thought that that was going to be, or this was going to be his signature sneaker. It's not though. This is Clay's KT4, so it's his fourth signature, but low top form. And they gave Gordon Hayward a PE edition that had like his logos and stuff like that on the tongue. Gordon is getting a signature shoe, so if you are a fan of Hayward, just be patient. It's going to come. But today we're talking about these. And the traction right here has not changed between the lows and the mids. We still have that fingerprint looking pattern. This stuff right here is just incredibly awesome. Some of the best traction last year, and I assume that it's going to be some of the best traction this year as well. And being that it is a Chinese-based brand, they do make their rubbers durable enough for outdoors. So while it performs great inside, they're also capable of being taken outside without any real issues. Now, along with the traction, the tooling is identical to the mid-tops as well. So what we have here is ANTA's A-Flash foam. It's their new stuff. It's an ETPU, which means it's a plastic-based foam model, or midsole, I shouldn't say model. So it's very similar to Boost, if that's going to be like the direct comparison, because that is the other ETPU that's currently on the market that most people know of. And because it's a plastic-based foam, you can see that it's kind of discolored. It's not white like the outsole right here. It's got this kind of like off-white or cream look to it. And that is on purpose. That's just the way that the foam looks. Now, to keep everything stable on the lateral side, they have wrapped the A-Flash foam up in this TPU wing. It's not a hard TPU. It's kind of like a rubbery version, so it's flexible and it will move with your foot and all that kind of good stuff. I really liked this on the mid-top model, and what I really liked is that the base right here was somewhat wide, not super wide, but it was somewhat wide, and then they extended the outrigger to the midfoot, which is something that you rarely see. And I was watching some Golden State highlight clips I think it was just last night, and Clay came around the screen. I can't even remember what team they were playing, but Clay came around the screen, immediately planted both feet and was able to just hit that thing perfectly. And it's because of stuff like this that keeps his feet stable. So this is the type of stuff that I personally appreciate. I like all of the extra stability features in the shoes. Some people don't like them just because it adds a little bit of extra kind of like restriction. I personally disagree. I do think that this is a great mobile shoe. Clay's still able to move around on court. He's still able to, you know, be a lockdown defender and all that kind of stuff. But where he needs stability and when he needs stability, the shoes are able to take care of that for him, which I think is awesome. And you can see some signature features right here with his number on the rear. This is a synthetic leather panel, as is the little strap or pull tab or whatever. I don't know if you can see inside of there, but it's not real leather. And then we also have the signature KT11 logo on the tongue. It's got his signature right there on the rear, and the KT11 logo is on the bottom as well. Now, what I really like about this version of the shoe, the low top in particular, is that it's not a sock shoe. So it is still a knit, and they were able to change the knit pattern up just a little bit, so it's a little bit thicker, it's a little bit more durable feeling. They've obviously like woven or knitted in some targeted airflow zones, so you got all of that perforation right there. This back panel is super rugged, super thick. I really like it. I love that it's an overlay panel too, where you can see the seam. I think that it gives the design a lot of depth. Same thing with this little ankle pillow right there. I like the way that this looks versus the mids. The mids just look kind of flat to me, but my favorite part about them is that they actually remove that sock feature and they put on a typical or standard tongue, which this allows a wearer to really like, you know, adjust the fit to their liking. So it's not a one size fits most type scenario. This is almost everybody can wear this comfortably. And they've done away with the fly wire lace loops, and instead they've reinforced the knit area with these little synthetic panels. So you have traditional eyelets and all that stuff. So again, you could really customize this fit a lot more than the mids. And that's something, again, that I appreciate a lot. I like this a lot more than, again, the mids and all that stuff. I think that this is a better overall setup for most people. Now, in terms of sizing, the shoe does fit true to size. So whatever you normally will, you know, wear in any other brand, that's what I would go with. I wear a size 9. These are a size 9 and they fit me perfectly. And if you wanted some performance information, because we have done a performance review on the mids already, we'll link a video here. I think that's where the little pop out thing is going to be, the little info card. I'll also put a link down in the description box just in case you're interested. But a lot of this is going to play very similar to the mids because, again, the tooling, the traction, the cushion, all that stuff is the same. All they really did is kind of tweak the upper, which I personally feel is an upgrade, even though they're a low top. I know a lot of people don't think low tops are better than mids, which is cool. But when we're talking about comparing a low top like this to a sock shoe that is like flexible up top and stuff, it's not really a mid or a high, you know what I mean? Like it's too soft to be considered that. But I am excited to play in these whenever I'm able to. I really just don't have a timetable right now. I'm stretching the calf at night and all that kind of stuff. But then when I wake up in the morning, it's very stiff and very tight and it's uncomfortable. Fingers crossed that I'll be back in maybe another week or two, but no promises. I do have a lot to catch up on, which sucks because I have these, I don't know what else I have. It's all over the place, man, but there's too much stuff. And yeah, it's gonna be a long road. But let me know what you guys think about these down below in the comment section. If you were interested in grabbing a pair, I will leave another link in the description box where we got them from. We got them from Famuji Sneaker. They're an overseas reseller. They don't charge too much over retail, at least like from what ANTA would be charging the US consumers. And we also have a little discount code. So if you wanted a small discount, then you can use that and all that kind of stuff. There are multiple colorways, I believe. Let me double check real quick. So yeah, there are 2 colorways, not quite multiple, but there is more than one. So technically, yes. And the second colorway is not this like jade or teal colorway. It's actually a really dope colorway. It's a royal blue one, so kind of a Nightwing-ish look, at least to me. But sound off below, let us know what you guys think about these down in the comment section. Did you play in the original KT4? If you did, what did you think about them? Thank you so much for watching once again, and until next time, guys, have a good one. You know how when you were asking me what the most improved brand was?
Yes.
All that stuff? This probably would have been.
So even over the Pumas?
Puma still only has 2 shoes. You can't consider that like, I don't have a catalog. For Puma, what you do is you give them all the credit in the world for putting their first basketball shoes out in like, what, like a decade or so?
Right.
Or 2 decades, whatever it was. But like, you give them a lot of credit for putting out 2 basketball shoes that didn't suck. You know what I mean? Because like a lot of people, like your first shoe is kind of like you're surprised when it's good. And so that's what I was kind of like with the Clyde Court.
Yes.
And then the Uproar is like, I think even better than that one in most of the areas. And so like, I was kind of like, well, like you're 2 for 2. That's really good, especially like, again, coming back from a super long absence. But for ANTA, a long time ago, a lot of people don't know this. A lot of US people don't know this. People in China know this, but like ANTA was the brand that was considered like the Walmart brand.
Okay. In
China. Like their shoes were always kind of like, which they still do, which kind of irritates me because it's hard to give them the most improved brand when they still do this over there.
Yeah.
We don't see it often here because a lot of their shoes don't touch down in the States. But they would copy a lot of big brand designs. They're like the Skechers of you know what I'm saying? Like Skechers does that here in America, and ANTA would do that and still does that a lot of times in China.
What did you call Skechers? The mom brand?
Yeah, the mom brand of America. Because like all moms like rock Skechers and they're ridiculously comfortable. My mom watched our video on her review on the Jordan 1 Low slips.
Yes.
My mom doesn't like Jordans. Like she doesn't like hate them or anything, but like she's kind of like you where like most of them are ugly or or bulky or whatever, right? And so like she's just kind of like, meh, whatever. My mom sees this video and she was like, oh, those are dope and they're simple,
That's
they're low.
They are.
Yeah, you know, they're cute, they're lightweight. They changed the midsole to Phylon, all that stuff. So she was like, yo, like they sound comfortable. Like she's like, you're selling me on the shoe. Like, and then she was like, how much is it? And I was like, it's $90. And she was like, ooh. I was like, yeah, like why don't you just go buy some Skechers? Like who cares? You're a mom, right? Like it's not like you're trying to swag yourself out.
Right.
Like it's not like who are you impressing, right? So that was the comparison that I had made to her. But that's how ANTA kind of comes off originally. When I wore their first, my experience of their first shoe, which was the Rondo 1. You remember those? They were black and green. Those were ugly, but man, those were dope shoes. Like I was surprised because the only other Chinese brand that I had been playing in before that was Li Ning, and Li Ning at the time was the Nike of China, where like Li Ning was the #1 brand besides Nike, and they were the quality brand, all that stuff, and ANTA was kind of like looked down upon, right? And then like ANTA made some moves. They signed Rondo first, but then eventually they signed Clay, and that's where the brand really turned things around. I don't know how or why. I don't think it was necessarily because of Clay, but obviously that might have sped up the process.
Yes.
You know, being a championship team and all that stuff. So their first KT shoe.
That's what I wanted to know. Like, how would you rate them? Like, has the 4s like drastically improved?
I still like the 3. I think overall, like the best, but the first two models were super basic. The first one in general, like the first one specifically, super basic shoe.
They had to play it safe.
It's not just that they were playing it safe, it's like they signed him and immediately they gave him a signature. So it's like, that shoe was rushed. The upper was plastic, like a fuse base and all that stuff. At the time it was starting to kind of be outdated, that tech.
Yes.
And the midsole was just basic EVA, all that stuff. But the shoe played well overall. It was firm, but it had great traction. It was durable. It was a good shoe. It just was kind of like 3 years late. And then the KT2 came out, very same build. Like the build, I was kind of like, what? But the tooling, the comfort, I was like, damn, like what happened? Like y'all like came up with cushion out of nowhere. Like I was like, what the F is this? Because those were hella comfortable. And then the playoff version had like a TPU, you know, plastic forefoot with the knit back.
Oh, right.
And then those and the lows also, which had the knit. And I was just like, yo, these are legit. And those, actually that might be my favorite still, the low top KT2s. The 3 is where they really did the knit thing, right? Because the knit thing is like the craze now. And it's a lot cheaper to manufacture knit. The 3s are awesome though. The 3 is where they really like came into their own with doing things that were very modern. And then the 4, again, super modern, but I do feel that they stepped back a little bit with the design because I still feel that those look too close, the upper, to the LeBron 15. Again, that's why I really like this. This is its own thing. Doesn't look like any other shoe.
No, they did a good job on changing it up.
Yeah.